1 week ago, nearby our nation's capital, Athletes Unlimited treated lacrosse fans to an action-packed opener. Quick scoop, taken on the run, down low, behind the back! Hello, Hallie Majorana starts the league in style. The elite level lacrosse fun was just beginning. The game's greatest players delivered an incredible weekend's worth of competition, which led to a pair of golden girls atop the leaderboard. As new captains this week, Kayla Wood and Kayla Trainer go from teammates to rivals, while Dempsey Arsenault and Haley Warden get used to their new wardrobe. You know it will be colorful.
That was gorgeous. Thanks for setting me up, honey.
You're welcome when Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse draws next. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Week 2, it features new captains with naming rights. Tonight, Team Haley Warden meets up with a team that rallies around Dempsey Arsenault. 56 of the finest, most highly decorated players in the world are linked to Athletes Unlimited. Rosters of 14 are going to change from week to week with the emergence of new captains and a weekly draft. Winning quarters, winning the game, it all helps to add up to those individual totals over a 30-game stretch that's played in 5 weekends. A very pleasant welcome to you. Along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. Court, you better be able to make friends fast in this league. 1 week your teammates, the next week your enemies.
Dempsey Arsenault and Haley Warden, both captains this week, played for Team Ohlmiller in gold. They don't know how to lose yet. However, somebody's going to walk away, not as a victor tonight, but you take the good of what you learned from last week and put your own little spin on it while you're captain.
In this league, it pays off to do all the little things that help your teams win games. And a week ago, it was Haley Warden maximizing her talents.
Haley Warden did a great job, not just of scoring goals, but getting possession for her team. She took a lot of draw controls, she got it to her wing players, but she is a very heads-up player on both ends of the field.
That's why she's a captain for the next 3 games. Let's flip the script for you as Haley Warden is ready to go with her team dressed in purple. Let's flip that script now. And you and I are learning quickly that winning matters most in this league. But Marie McCool's individual stat line was undeniable last weekend.
Marie McCool, generally a dominant player on the circle. She was called upon to take the draw herself and win it herself. Offensively, she not just can dodge behind the goal cage, but she actually is more of a top dodger. However, she did what her team needed, as we see right here. Highlighted in yellow, she was taking it from the wing. She really did a great job, even though her team walked away with just 1 win, of putting them on her back.
Marie McCool will be dressed and ready, looking nice in powder blue. When it comes to scoring points on the leaderboard, team rosters gain traction by winning each quarter, by winning the game. But when it comes to an individual stat line, Court, here's the breakdown.
When you look at all of these stats, the fact that a goal and a caused turnover are both 12 points, this is how you have individuals on the leaderboard, from goalkeepers to midfielders to defenders, because what you do individually matters in addition to how your team does on the field. Earlier today,
it was Team Wood downing Team Trainer, which has had an impact on our Geico leaderboard up to the minute prior to this nightcap.
Kayla Wood, again, doing work at both ends of the field, but the fact that her team won a majority of the quarter points, as well as the overall win, continues to keep her at the top.
I thought last weekend was terrific in a bunch of ways, Courtney, but especially in how the players helped to take us into the game by wearing microphones. We're going to start with Amber Hill. Amber, when the play comes your way, what's most important for you to communicate to your defenders?
Where the ball's coming from.
Sounds easy, but what are the directives that you give?
What direction the ball's coming down. Let them know where they need to go as defenders and who's covering who and who needs to slide.
Amber, I see defensively you guys are working with a zone. What's so very important for the defenders when playing in a zone?
Here we go, baby! They need to communicate on defense. They need to, here we go, guys. They need to communicate on defense and they got to make sure that they have their sticks up and they're covering all the space that they can, the most area with the, the wingspan.
Keep them all straight, Amber. Thanks for spending
Always.
some time with us.
Thank you.
Opposite end, it's Kaylee Waters. Kaylee, in week 2, what are your expectations?
Just see a lot of good lacrosse out there. I think people have adjusted from last week. We saw the game a little bit, so I think we'll see things cleaned up. I don't know, just have fun, play together as a team.
I know you'll have fun, Kaylee. Thanks for spending some time with us. We appreciate it. Patty Kletcher-Porter, Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie are your officials. Team Arsenal in the blue, Team Warden in the purple. Game number 8 of 30 in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. On the interchange, Oldmiller thought about that shot. She shares it with McMahon. Lindsay McCone works it topside to Marie McCool. 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We play 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Sammy Jo Tracy bluffed it from right around that 8-meter key. Score from behind it, you'll get 2 points. McCool did that last weekend. Work it over the top. Arsenault off the split dodge. Inside that pass was low. 16 seconds to shoot. Oldmiller over the top. McCool with time. She scores.
Patience offensively is what we see from Team Arsenault in blue. Right after getting the draw control on that false start. Patience around the perimeter, so very important as they see cutters cutting through, which ultimately a nice skip pass into Marie McCool wearing number 40, into her stick. We see as soon as she catches that ball, defender gets out of the way in shooting space. However, that's not called in Athletes Unlimited. That time room, the space, patience, winding up. She's better able to get her position and placement on that shot.
Marie was the 2nd overall pick back on Monday in the draft. She has 8 tallies so far in the young season. She was number 1, Courtney, in stat points, individual, after the first 3 games. Sam Apuzzo not far from that. Takes control of the draw, gets 2 points in that regard. McCool just added 12 to her totals with that early strike. We're in the 2nd minute of the opening quarter. Back to back, Majorana rips the net.
Team Warden, their first possession, wasting no time getting on the board. We saw a little bit more patience out of Team Arsenault. However, Team Warden in purple wanting to even up the score. Anytime you get the ball moving, get the defense changing, turning their position where the ball is at. As soon as Sam Apuzzo went behind the goal cage, you see right there, Hallie Majorana calling for that ball. Defense shifting a bit slow. When they're shifting slow, again, you have time.
Courtney, we saw Hallie adjust her feet. Good footwork there. What's important to transfer your weight and shoot that ball?
Turning and opening up her hips. As soon as she caught the ball, her feet were already in line with her body. Last week, we saw her fire away so many shots as well as assists. Very heads-up player, always smart, putting herself in the best possible position to catch, turn, and fire.
Approaching 400 points on the individual leaderboard. Majorana had 3 different 2-goal games last weekend. Draw control, Warden looking for it. Haley, an outstanding draw control player at James Madison. Now in her first game as captain for the team dressed in purple. Katie O'Donnell was the captain of the purple team a week ago. She offers this to Allie Kennedy. Allie picked up on the outside, defended by Kira Pelton. Just getting going. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. We hear the defensive communication from Team Arsenault. O'Donnell feeds, settling, it's Michelle Tumalo. Kennedy brings it around for Majorana, 14 seconds to shoot. Temperatures in the 80s, sun has set. Majorana fired that one off a defender, it rattled off a McCone. Lights are starting to take effect here at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex, about a half hour from DC. That was close, but they're gonna wash it out. Shot clock violation against Team Warden. Hallie putting up a protest, and yet still Team Arsenal clears it away. Kira Pelton, who played at Stanford, jogs it towards the 8-meter key. Settling it up 6-on-6. Joining the party a little late, here comes Marie McCool. Arsenal swings it back behind the cage for McMahon. From the wing, high heat. Old Miller tickles the twine.
Kylie O'Miller, captain last week on the gold team, translating into offensive prowess for Team Arsenal. As we see the ball movement again, it's all about touches, feeling comfortable. Late movement defensively creates that open lane. As soon as she's catching that ball, she's putting herself in the best possible position to turn, get her full body involved in this shot. Watch it from this angle. As soon as she catches, she's turned. Her hips are leaning into that.
Beautiful accuracy from Kylie O'Miller. Already on the board with a goal and a helper on Fox Sports. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Taking you inside the draft room for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse back on Monday. Kayla Wood was leading the overall leaderboard. Haley Warden selected first in the most recent draft, and tonight she squares off against Dempsey Arsenal in a game that's currently led by the team in blue, 2-1. Kayla Trainer earlier today suffering a loss to Team Wood by 1 point, as we have some notes to sort through.
Taylor Cummings did a great job of dominating all over the field. Obviously, her team not able to come up with the win. Becca Block all over the field defensively, causing turnovers, but most impressive once again, Katie Glynn in goal. And this is why she jumped up in the draft pick so much. She had over a 60% save percentage.
Made the big save on Trainer late in regulation earlier today. Field looks spectacular. We say thank you to our presenting field partners at Geico for all of their assistance. Just a little over 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Fans, we want you to get even closer to the game. Join the Unlimited Club for free by downloading the Athletes Unlimited app today. You'll receive all the latest news and updates in the palm of your hand. Stream digital games, unlock special access, and more. If you're looking for more than that, you can upgrade your membership for a whole year of behind-the-scenes access of all Athletes Unlimited seasons. To the draw control. Ball control belongs to Marie McCool.
We see that physical play at the draw control. There are no empties. A little bit more body contact than what lacrosse purists are used to seeing. However, Athletes Unlimited, it's allowed. These players are faster. They're more physical, stronger. And that only adds to the play.
Athletes Unlimited, where athletes are unlocking their unlimited potential to inspire excellence in the community. We're watching Arsenal and Warden work tonight. McMahon drawing at the attention of the defenders. Shot clock down to 18. On around she comes. Good face dodge move there. Spin it for McMahon. Kick it inside. That's deflected. Good defensive play by Amber McKenzie. Amber Hill comes up firing. She's got Allie Kennedy on the run looking for numbers. Kennedy does not have the fast break, so she will slow it down into 6-on-6. Haley Warden, she calls herself a connector. She'll be good as a captain. Majorana gets topside, turned back by Meg Dowdy, former Defender of the Year at Maryland in her collegiate days. Just a little bit more than halfway home in this opening quarter, 2-1 for the team dressed in blue. Tumalo drifts down low. Apuzzo is next, blocked by Wayfield. Skip it on around. Kennedy rolls, took a hit up high. That could be a card. It's going to be a player up situation for the Team Warden.
So 24, 1 minute, releasable, check to the head, yellow card.
Here we go, Kaylee!
These player up opportunities account for 60 seconds.
This is a free position chance. Kennedy races in, bounce shot, score! Allie Kennedy finding enough room there.
Allie Kennedy, number 42, the one taking the hit to the face, which created to this opportunity. Right here, that stick check to the face, it's going to be a yellow card, creating a man-up situation, player up. However, you get an 8-meter when that foul is happening inside of that 8-meter key. Quick little takeoff from the line. We see her hedging away from her stick side, giving that stick a little bit more space so she's able to have time and room, protecting, pulling it across her body before she takes that shot.
That was amazing. She folded that over before she let it fly. How does changing the angle foil the goalie?
It's being shot from a different direction. No longer you running head on, you're giving more space, and then that extra little cradle, which ultimately was a protection from that sliding defender, just can throw that goalkeeper off of her angles.
Draw control for Dowdy. She gets 2 more points on her ledger. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, where every play matters. Nice clearing effort from Caroline Wakefield. You see at the top of the screen how the points are delivered to some degree. When you score a goal, you get 12. Just like Allie Kennedy did on the free position a few moments ago. 3 minutes left in the quarter. This is sent high. That was a tough shot as we welcome MC Byrne, Mary Claire Byrne, to Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. She's wearing 60 in the Team Arsenal blue. 56 players total on the roster in this inaugural summer. It looked like that was over and back, didn't it?
It did. That's a rule here that most players aren't used to having. You cannot take the ball back beyond the midline once it's over. And that was definitely one that got missed.
Tumalo did a nice job of leaping there to keep the ball in bounds. Warden will switch the point of attack, looking for Nicole Levy, who played collegiately at Syracuse. Long drive, score! From deep. And worth 2.
Nicole Levy, again, a part of that Team Ohlmiller in gold from last week, having 3 wins. She didn't see as much time on the offensive end, but when she's out there, she makes it known. For Team Warden, she's been on that field. We see as that ball, as soon as she receives it, she already has her eye on the cage. No defensive players are honoring her, and she is an outside shooter. She can really wind up. That's one of those things. She's known in college for her powerful shot. This time, throwing a bounce in.
When she was playing for Gary Gate at Syracuse, she worked a lot at X from behind the cage. Here, with plenty of space, she pops that bouncer over Kaylee Waters. That's a magnificent shot for 2 from Nicole Levy, who scored against Team Benson a week ago.
Joe, that's 2-pointer number 3 that we've seen thus far.
Marie McCool, Courtney Fortunato, and now Nicole Levy scoring from behind that 8-meter key and giving Team Warden the 2-goal advantage. Her individual point total at 359. Nicole climbing the ranks. Folks, listen up. It's time to earn points for watching tonight's broadcast. Take out your phone. Enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You'll earn points. If you don't have the Athletes Unlimited app, head over to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Start earning points to unlock exclusive rewards. Stay in the know about all things Athletes Unlimited. Playing in front of friends and family and special guests tonight on Friday. Tomorrow, ticket sales are available. Check it out at auprosports.com. Be sure to join us at Maureen Hendricks Field. Courtney, let's have a peek at how the in-game leaderboard stacks up. These players working in this contest tonight.
No surprise with Dempsey Arsenal or Haley Warden, both of them captains of their team, leading their teams on both ends of the field.
I know we were impressed with the great hustle and the versatility of Lindsay McCone last weekend. Lindsay is going to be out there to take the draw opposite of Haley Ward, and this is game 8 of 30. Nice to have you on board. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you in a 4-2 game, led by the team dressed in purple.
Set. Yep, okay, we're good.
Patty Kletcher-Porter lines them up.
Yep, yep.
Hey, Cook, be ready.
Okay, this is good. Hold it here. Ready.
You heard Haley right before that draw. Hey, Cook, talking to Kristen Carr. Hey, Cookie, be ready. She wanted to take it back to her.
It's so very impressive that the draw takers, they're such specialists that they know where that ball is generally going. Letting Cookie Carr, her teammate, know, be ready to run onto that ball. So very important. They have little cues, and this is something that they have to come up with just in a few days of practice.
Courtney, is it just the way it feels when it lines up when the ball is between the two crosses that you know that you can get that move that you want?
Exactly where the ball is placed.
Hill made the save there in a long distance bid for McCone. Amber Hill.
And that was a great stop.
Slow and steady on the clear. Lacrosse was created by the Haudenosaunee. Amber has great respect for her people and this pro opportunity. Grace Gabriel brings it along. Team Warden looking to improve its lead now as Tumalo backpedals away from some pressure. Gabriel outside the arc, bullied there by McCone. Good stop by Waters. She flashed out to make that stop. Kaylee Waters, 2 times a National Goalie of the Year during her days at North Carolina. Dowdy glides ahead. Meg was a captain last weekend, Courtney. She didn't win any of the 3 games, but she lost 3 by the grand total of 4 points. They were in every ball game.
That's kudos to Meg Dowdy. It's tough being a captain, having the ability, number one, to call what you're doing on the field, in addition to picking players and trying to find the best possible team that's playing together that week.
Arsenault on the flip. Closing in was MC Burns. She lost the handle. This is Mary Claire's Athletes Unlimited debut, 60 in the blue. In a foot race there, Carr, who is so well conditioned, comes up with the ground ball. Amber Hill pressured on the end line by Oldmiller. Rolls it ahead to Holly Riley. Riley awkwardly down to the turf. This ball will stay with Team Warden.
Love the physicality. Obviously, those were slashes towards the body, which is why there was a foul called.
Everybody on Team Warden about to win 20 points for winning this first quarter, which comes to its conclusion in 1 more second. As Meg Dowdy walks it off the sideline, the last horn of the frame. The whistle blares out, and this is a 4-2 win of the first quarter for Team Warden. Last 2 tallies of the quarter belonging to Allie Kennedy, and that 2-pointer from deep from Nicole Levy on a tear. Eight minutes complete. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. 4-2 for Team Warden on the strength of a 2-point goal from deep from Nicole Levy. As we carry along with Game 8, this is Week 2 of this inaugural Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse League. We want to bring you onto the field. We want to take you into the game. Let's do that with Amber Hill.
Guys, you're getting really excited and everything's going high. As soon as we settle, it's clean and we're playing our game. Just, we got it. Up top! Balls up top! ISO, Cookie, ISO! Hands, Cookie, hands! Yep.
Amber Hill means business. When she tells you she wants you to be on the hands defensively, she's barking.
I love how loud she was on that. She talked about defensive communication coming from the defenders, but ultimately, It's the goalkeeper who is the quarterback. They're the ones leading and directing each and every one of those players on the field.
See the cause there listed for Amber Hill as we transition over to Nicole Levy. Levy has a reputation for being an outside shooter, and she proved it back in the opening quarter.
Nicole Levy took many outside shots in her college days from that 8-meter mark. Right here, we saw that quick transition, getting the ball into her stick. She knew that she had time and room. What I love about that is the fact that she was able to change levels. She did a bouncer. The balls are hitting the turf and they're bouncing high, throwing off goalkeeper Kaylee Waters. But I love that she was able to get her hands out wide as soon as she caught that ball, took her little crow hop, and was ready to fire.
How many amazing lacrosse players have come out of East Islip, New York? It's just incredible. Fans, you can join us. You can do so as early as tomorrow, in fact, at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Soccerplex for game day. Tickets are still available. Select dates at auprosports.com/tickets/lacrosse. You can join in on the fun here. It's turned out to be a very pleasant night. Temperatures in the 80s, a little bit of a breeze. The sun has set, the lights have taken full effect, and we're watching Team Warden match up with Team Arsenault. Some 8 minutes into the contest. If you're joining us a little late this Friday, allow us to summarize.
So far, Team Warden up by a score of 4-2. It's just the third 2-point goal that we've seen in this, our 6th game. 20 points, winning the first quarter. Team Warden, again, it's one of those original players from Team Ohlmiller. Both Warden and Arsenault were a part of that 3-game win last weekend. Now they're captains leading their own teams.
Courtney, I'm going to get you to flip that calendar. It's game 8 now.
Game 8.
Yes, game 8 of 30 this season.
I just want more time.
I understand that. Well deserved. Oh, that's a beautiful behind the back. The pass from Kennedy to Majorana, who just took her eyes off of it. Ground ball scramble inside the key. It bounces loose to Pelton. She has control for Team Arsenault. Just getting going in the second quarter. Earlier today, you missed a real thriller. Team Wood downing Team Trainer, a 12-11 score. Alex Aust was fantastic. Aust, who missed the opening weekend of play with an excused absence. All she did by way of introduction today was score 5 times.
She needed no introduction. She did a great job of just stepping in with a new group of players.
Off the split dodge, the look goes behind the cage. One more to the front. McMahon fired. That went wide. Backed up well. Closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field on a shot gets possession. McCone off the question mark. Defended well there on the perimeter by Allie Kennedy. Shot clock's at 9. Ohlmiller waiting. She's got Riley hung up. Ohlmiller with 3 to shoot. Spins, fires. Hill was there on the short side. The ball belongs to Team Warden. Hill comes up firing. She airmails Cookie Cards, taken on the run by Apuzzo. Her pass was too tall for Kennedy. Michelle Tumolo there, the newly named head coach at the United States Military Academy. Michelle will be getting used to life in West Point. Play brought to a halt, 1:41 into the second. They'll get repositioned, and Katie O'Donnell will get things started. O'Donnell, we mentioned she was a captain in the first week end of play. She only tallied in the last game of 3, so I expect her offense to heat up a bit. They bluff the flip. Majorana brings it around for Kennedy.
With just a 6-on-6, the defense likes to pack it in, making it more difficult to want to shoot the ball from downtown. However, quick ball movement is what's going to catch a defense off guard, sending cutters.
Field dimensions are a little different. Beautiful cutter there, and the pass is deposited in one fell swoop.
Sam Apuzzo with the cut, just as we talked about, things that can break a zone. When you get the zone moving, players covering cutters, We saw that initial cut. Sam Apuzzo went like she was going to cut to the outside. As soon as that defender passed her off, she was popping back into the space that she had just vacated. Defense thought she was going to finish that cut off one way when she popped the opposite.
She's just a natural around the goal. She has tallies in all 4 games this season. She was the first overall pick in draft 2. We drafted back on Monday. You'll see a new draft if you watch us on Facebook Live Monday night. Dana Boyle, former Virginia Cavalier midfielder, will be joining me for that. At the end of this weekend, we'll have 4 new captains likely, perhaps, and they'll be picking 4 new sides. High in the air off the draw control. McCool right to the cooker, had it blocked. Holly Riley with some get up and go the other way. She and her husband, Brendan, started dating at Princeton by sneaking away to play the piano together. I guess he's more classical, she's more of a pop player.
A lot of lacrosse players meet when they're in college. Oftentimes watching one another play, learning from the men's game to the women's game.
Through the weave, it's O'Donnell finding Apuzzo, former Tewaaraton Award winner. Apuzzo feeds it up top, off the pump fake on the hitch there. The good hitch move from Kennedy. Ball down, comes off the ground for Wakefield. She'll play catch with Waters, a fellow Tar Heel. Right on the button there for Pelton on the clear. 5-2 for Team Warden in the purple. Sammy Jo Tracy, who's already treated us to a few tricky goals. A lot of flash and dash from 13 in the blue. Arsenault sends it on around to McCool. McCool against Carr off the split dodge. Not enough room there for Marie to shoot it. Ohlmiller with 20 on the shot clock. Defended by O'Donnell. McMahon will split. Another good defensive play by Warden. Arsenault on the hitch, stopped there by Hill. The rebound and the ground ball picked up on the move by Amber McKenzie.
Another great job of defense by Holly Riley, number 2 in purple for Team Warden, holding body position. Oh so tough through the super physical game.
Impossible? Ha! Watch me. That word is not in my vocabulary. Welcome to my mentality, where I will show you freedom, recognition, for every athlete, every woman, for my team, for me. Say my name because I am the best at what I do. The All-American, the Olympian. My craft is my free expression, where I compete to win. I stand for racial equality, gender equality, income equality, as a guaranteed, tangible reality. Welcome to where I play, where I am free.
Players deserving of their recognition. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Guaranteed Rates. If you believe it, you can do it. Carrying right along in our second quarter of play, a 5-2 advantage for Team Warden. Fans, you can own a piece of Athletes Unlimited history with the first ever Topps trading card set for professional women's lacrosse. The limited edition sets feature all the athletes plus additional cards about the league and randomly inserted serial numbered parallels, including player autographs and Nike golden tickets. Get yours at Topps.com through August 27th. Joe and Courtney with you from Marine Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. A shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our crew. This one sent wide of the goal, guarded by Kaylee Waters. O'Donnell misfired there with the ball in the circle. Waters will start the clear. Team Warden won the first quarter, 4-2. Each player on their roster getting 20 points to their individual leaderboard tally. Ball down, comes up for Carr. Carr trying to split two defenders. Good trail check help there from Arsenault. Back we go. Wakefield makes the pass. Bring it on around. Sammy Jo Tracy steps into a 6-on-6. Sammy Jo wheels and fires. Fought off by Amber Hill. McKenzie takes the rebound. Ball down off the turnover. The caused turnovers are worth a dozen points on your ledger, just as much as scoring a goal when you cause a turnover.
Defenders need points too. Oftentimes defense, regardless of the points in NCAA play, they like to say cause turnovers are their own goals. Well, in this league, it's the exact same amount of points, 12.
On the flip on the run, McMahon, beautiful moves in the open field. Going to the cage. Great recovery check though there. McMahon not able to get a lot of mustard on that shot. Amber Hill says thanks. She starts the clear for Team Warden, on top by 3 points. O'Donnell ridden pretty hard there. On the scoop, round and round they go, and it comes up for Grace Gabriel. Gabriel, 3 years a starter at Marquette. Looked like she was hit up high. They play on. McCool still there to challenge.
Relentless pressure by Marie McCool, midfielder we talked about. It's not just her ability to score goals, but it's her pressure, it's her aggressiveness all throughout the field, and she's also able to cause turnovers.
Team Warden has the advantage by 3. Just tuning in with us, Apuzzo, the lone goal in the second quarter. It followed the Levy 2-point effort, Majorana and Kennedy. Kennedy from a free position. As far as Dempsey Arsenault's side is concerned, goals from McCool and Oldmiller. Folks, Athletes Unlimited has launched athlete causes in partnership with the Give Lively Foundation. Let's hear about the cause of Hallie Majorana.
Hi, my name is Hallie Majorana, and I will be playing for Harlem Lacrosse. I chose Harlem Lacrosse because I'm connected with them in the Philadelphia area. I think they have all the tools and resources to help kids not only achieve success on the field, but in the classroom as well, with tutoring and mentorships. The kids that are a part of Harlem Lacrosse are really eager and they want to learn the sport. And like I said, they have really good resources, a lot of great coaches that are helping grow the game and teaching these kids the game.
Hallie, so happy to have Athletes Unlimited on the main stage for lacrosse. Athlete causes allowing the athletes to play their season in part for the benefit of the nonprofit organization of their choice. At the end of the season, the Give Lively Foundation makes a grant equal to 50% of the athlete's end of season bonus to that nonprofit partner. Hallie's cause, Harlem Lacrosse. We learned a lot more about them, Courtney, last week. In game, we're talking about the Geico leaderboard to this point. We haven't had any scores in the last 11 minutes or thereabouts. So the point totals on the stat lines are racking up mostly for draw controls, ground balls, and caused turnovers. Dempsey Arsenault in this game still sets the pace.
But Hallie Majorana, you see her highlighted in yellow right there. She's done a great job of continuing to step up all over the field. While she may not have been a captain to date, she's been a very important part of each team.
Courtney, she'd be a lot higher, Majorana would be, if she were not turnover prone. She had 8 turnovers last weekend. That is 8 times 8. That's minus 64 on your point total.
Thank goodness you said that. My multiplication facts are a little bit slower than you, but 64 points. Every turnover counts. Every point counts, positive or negative. We saw how that affected so many players, the turnovers within each team.
It does. The stat lines do matter, but the individual team wins and the winning by quarter, winning overall, that just makes your point total skyrocket. So best to join together, to join forces and win as a team. McCool with 38 seconds on the shot clock. Just dances inside that 8-meter key. McCool so fluid. Shayna Pareca delivers for Sammy Jo Tracy. Working on the outside, Arsenault gets to the elbow, works below goal line extended. 20 seconds to shoot. McMahon off the split dodge. No shooting room there. Arsenault has it. Stopped by Hill. Each save for Amber Hill earns her 6 points.
Another great save.
As she comes gunning up for Allie Kennedy at midfield.
6 points.
Tumalo sends it back behind the cage. Levy will operate there. She has her defender, Wakefield, hung up. Final 44 seconds of this opening half. Just one goal in the frame. Gabriel tries to change that. Waters made the denial. An outstanding stop. It gives Arsenault's team 30 seconds to perhaps tie the quarter up. Waters is way out of the cage. It's a whistle from the officials. A stoppage in play. And Waters 30 yards from the goal.
Hold. Okay, so we have the horn go off.
Yeah, Goalie had ball at the time of the request for the timeout.
Okay, so we have a timeout. Blue has the ball. So the timeout that occurred, the goalie had possession, so we are looking at the goalie with the ball.
Each team has one timeout per quarter.
And what a great call for a timeout. The team captain or the team facilitator are the ones who can make that call. And as soon as that ball was in Kaylee Waters' stick, she was so far out of the cage, incredibly smart, because now they have an opportunity to talk about how to put themselves on the board and even out the score in this second quarter.
Courtney mentions the facilitators. For Team Arsenault, it's Shanta Lecker. For Team Warden, think helper, think advisor, think assistant almost. That's Abby Jackson for Team Warden. Folks, our players are asked to talk about self-belief, a time of reflection, and how it affects their career. Let's hear now from Izzy McMahon.
I went through a good amount at SC. At one point, I was actually ineligible throughout the fall season. So for me, I think that was the hardest part of my college career, because it was a time, you know, I couldn't blame anybody else but myself. So what I just had to do is I just had to look in the mirror, you know, give myself a little punch on the chin and say, like, hey, stand up, let's go, and get back into it. And I ended up having a great fall, did what I had to do to get back, and spring came around and I was ready to go at that time. So definitely a big hump, a tough one, but going over that, I think I was able to find a lot about myself during that time.
That was Believe You Will, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Izzy McMahon says that lax is in her DNA. She lives to compete. 20 seconds remaining in this half. A chance for Team Arsenault to score a tying tally or perhaps a 2 that would win them the quarter and 20 points per player. But the pass sails high, and that should ensure another quarter win for Team Warden. They won the first quarter 4-2. They're leading the second 1-0, and they lead the game at the half 5-2.
Great job in transition defensively, matching up. Team Warden making sure that they sealed that quarter win, making it 2 quarter wins for themselves, just as you had mentioned. We see for the second game in a row a lot of zone defensive play, which takes a lot of communication, a lot of shifting, but both teams making this a strong defensive battle.
In our first game, we had 23 points doled out in a 12-11 decision. Much more low scoring at the half in this game. At the break, can't get enough. Sam Apuzzo had the only goal for Team Warden in that second quarter. They have a 5-2 advantage after 16 minutes worth of work at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. Athletes Unlimited features 20 lacrosse players who are on the training roster for Team USA. Here's Kristen Carr with her reflections on the U.S. national team.
The World Championships was supposed to be this year. I believe they're supposed to start July 7th, and it's usually like a 10-day tournament. And, you know, this past year with COVID and everything, our training weekends and tryouts had been postponed a bunch of times, and then finally we got the news that we weren't having a World Championship, and they were still trying to figure out when that next training weekend would be. And so our team was always like super close, but that unknown of like what's going to happen can raise a little bit of anxiety of what those next steps are. And we actually just had 2 training camps together in June, which was really exciting. And for our group, I think it made it a reality again that we're only a year away. We get to play on our home soil and defend the gold medal, and that's a pretty special thing to say. And unique, or ironically, I don't even know if this is ironic, but no home nation has ever won the World Cup. So that's, you know, our mission's always to win gold, and to be able to do that on your home turf would be, I think it would just be the coolest thing that you could ever imagine, especially for someone who's, you know, for us that we've grown up wanting to play in a World Championship.
This player, Kristen Carr, plays with such defensive tenacity, Court. It's incredible to watch her. She is always laser focused.
She's so tough physically and mentally. She's one of the leaders on the U.S. team. You know, she does a great job of really engaging everyone, whether they're new players or old, and just making them feel comfortable, which that's what it's all about. In order to have success on the field, you need to be able to connect with your teammates on and off of the field, and that's a big part of what she does. She does a lot of team conversations, team huddles. She's always speaking and giving little inspirational notes.
Reflecting back on that piece where she's talking about the U.S. national team, once you get a taste of international play, Court, I'm assuming these are the ladies who just can't wait for it to happen again, and they've been forced to wait.
It's really difficult to sit there and say, we should have been playing. So I've got to keep myself in the best possible shape. And they were doing it virtually, training with their training staff, talking with one another, all through Zoom calls. It makes it tough to stay motivated, however they have. And just like she mentioned, the last time that the U.S. lost in the World Championships was in 2005 when it was in Annapolis, Maryland.
Cookie Carr in tip-top physical condition. She and her mates in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse at the halftime break. Team Warden has the lead by 3. We went through some long spells there without any goals in this game between Team Warden and Team Arsenault, and at the halftime break, it's 5-2 for the ladies dressed in purple. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Courtney's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. And Court, when you analyze the first half of play and the amount of goals that were not scored, just 5-2, just 7 points on the board, what happened?
You know, Team Warden in purple, they came out strong. They were leading at draw controls. However, once defenses start to tighten up and realize what you're doing offensively, that's when both teams started to suffer a little bit. However, Haley Warden's team, they were still able to come up with winning both quarters.
Getting you to the highlights now, Marie McCool had a fantastic weekend last weekend. She's picking up right where she left off.
Marie McCool makes herself known all over the field. That nice big skip pass to her from Kylie Ohlmiller. However, right here, we have a shot from downtown. Hallie Majorana making it known. I'm wide open on the elbow. Get that ball to me. Skip passes are so very important when teams are in zones.
This is the penalty that was against Sarah Brown, which gave Allie Kennedy a free position shot.
This free position shot, again, she's so quick off of that line, giving her stick side a little bit more space, and it was all Team Warden. Right here, skip pass, and we see Nicole Levy doing her little crow hop for a nice two-pointer, the first one that we've seen today.
This is some misdirection that results in a goal for Apuzzo.
We saw different teammates in blue pointing different directions, but you actually have to communicate verbally in order to send teammates different directions.
Courtney, thank goodness you're about to give the goalie some love. Some saves for Amber Hill.
Amber Hill, she's done a great job. We saw her talking when we went in game with that mic. She's communicating, she's directing everyone, and most importantly, she's doing her job, which is to save the ball.
Every stop she makes adds 6 points to her total. These are the halftime numbers through 2 quarters of play. Once again, the shot story, very relatively close.
Super close, but you look at the saves, a difference of 5 for Team Warden versus 2 for Team Arsenal. Everything else is pretty much even. However, I would like to see both teams with less turnovers. That's due to the physical play. They're doubling hard and fast, and you just got to keep your feet moving.
Team Arsenal with a drought of more than 13 minutes when we get started in the third quarter. Have a peek at the Geico leaderboard overall. Remember, Kayla Wood's team victorious earlier today, downing Kayla Trainers by a 12-11 score.
When you look at that number 1 and 4 slot, both of those players have been on that same team together. They have wins. The more wins you have as a team, the higher up you move in the leaderboard. Obviously, if you get MVP points, and then clearly the next best part, having individual stats. So I love that players of all different positions, from attackers to midfielders to goalkeepers, are a part of those top 5.
Amber Hill going through her shadow boxing routine there as we head to AUProsports.com. We direct you there for the way to get your Athletes Unlimited gear. Don't forget to follow on social at AU Pro Sports for exclusive inside content. We are getting set for quarter number 3. We'll have you back to enjoy it in just a few moments on Fox Sports. Playing in front of friends and family and special guests tonight, this Friday evening at the Maureen Hendricks Field of the Maryland Soccerplex. It's a 5-2 advantage for Team Warden over a squad that's led by Dempsey Arsenal. We want to make sure we take you into the game often this season. This time, we lean on Dempsey.
Here we go. Good job, you guys. Good job. Wait a second.
Hey, you guys.
Good stick on that. That was you.
I forgot to say white on that one. Wait, if we win this draw, let's push it and let's score, and then they're gonna be like, you can do it again. Exactly.
But it's pretty much either gonna go right in front of me or it's gonna be a big rip.
Okay. I'll have Dempsey go on that side. I'll go on that side.
And
or do you want to be on Sam?
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Whoever is in front of me, try and get her over because I want it to.
Like how I
want it.
Do you want to go there then?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. And I'll go defense.
Yeah. Well, so you're on Sam's side.
Yeah.
All the coordination required, Courtney, for the efforts around the draw circle.
It's an art. It's all about quickness, but communicating with those around the circle. You want to let them know when the ball is coming to their area so they're able to track it and be the first there.
That's Courtney Martinez-Connor. I'm Joe Beninati. We tip our hat to all the men and women in the technical crew for all their efforts throughout the days and nights as we are into weekend number 2. This is game 8 of 30 in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, this time on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Third quarter off and running. Team Warden is dressed in purple, on the lead by 3. Team Arsenal has gone upwards of now 14 minutes without a point. Last goal on the board, compliments of Kylie Ohlmiller back in the opening quarter. It was Ohlmiller's group last weekend that was a perfect 3-0. All those players that were dressed in gold last weekend that were all atop the leaderboard. Stepping in, Sammy Jo Tracy bounced that one wide. Selling out there on the end line was O'Miller, and she gets the ground ball. 16 seconds, she gets the possession off the missed shot. 12 seconds to shoot. She has Riley hung up. On the inside roll, score! O'Miller dazzling from behind the cage.
Kylie O'Miller, a captain last week for her team wearing gold. This week she's in blue with Team Arsenal. Despite not being a captain, she is a leader on this field. Just like you said, selling out for that ground ball, making sure she's the first one to that end line. And that little tap of the head, I'm gonna say, that means clear space for me. I've got this matchup. Again, you have to be so smart on the field. Your teammates need to listen to what you're calling out, but that protection, we see that little inside move. Generally, you give yourself as much space as possible around that crease. However, one quick little turn, a nice little spin move to the inside, protecting her stick, and she puts her team on the board.
The ever-present eye black for Kylie O'Miller, even in this night game. She says it's surreal when she sees some of the younger players copying the way she's done her eye black. Haley Warden comes up with a draw possession for her team. That gives her 2 points in her individual tally. It's now a 2-point game after that impressive marker from O'Miller. O'Miller's second on the night gets her another 12 on her count. Sammy Jo Tracy running for cover. Drafted there, covered up by Kristen Carr. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Field dimensions a little bit different in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We're 80 yards now from goal line to goal line. Things should happen a little bit quicker, allowing for the great players and their creativity. McCool says, follow me. Works away from Carr. The stick check puts it out of bounds. We're gonna have a card here.
Yellow card, 83, check to the head. 1 minute, releasable.
So Team Arsenal goes a player up.
Joe, it looked like that check initially was good, but after she checked her stick, McCool's stick came back and hit her in the head. So as we look at this in slow motion, Kristen Carr, 43, again tapped that middle part of the stick, but it came back and hit her in the head, so thus resulting in that yellow card.
Team dressed in blue, Team Arsenal, working 6-on-5 now, just shy of the 2-minute mark in this third quarter. Amber Hill in the cage for Team Warden. You'll hear her giving her defensive instructions. If Hill gets her way, the shots will be from the perimeter, not from the middle, not from the heart of the D. Outside there, outside the 8-meter key, you score from there, you get 2. Arsenal has the ball. We've seen a 2-pointer tonight from Nicole Levy. Work it around that circle. Sneak attack here, score! O'Miller has the hat trick.
Kylie O'Miller so sneaky around that goal circle. As we take a look at this player up offense, the ball moves quickly around the perimeter. She gets it into Marie McCool's hands, and then ultimately she cuts again, give and goes. Great work when you're a player up, creates that defense shifting where you just passed that ball to. That's what allowed her ability to cut into that open space.
Courtney, we're surrounded by great lacrosse players. When you get a chance to be a captain like O'Miller was in week 1, do you even get the sense that these players can elevate, that they can grow up and mature and become even better on the field as a result of that leadership?
Absolutely. Every single one of these players, not just great in their own playing days, many are college coaches or playing for Team USA. Every time they're on the field, they're learning. We saw that in the first game today, the loss from team trainer. 4 players and all college coaches were out on the field talking about it for 20 minutes after the game. These are true students of the game. They want to get better. They want to help their teammates get better. And ultimately, how do they create that next win for their team? Each week, different teams, how do they come together and make a change?
Warden on the go now for her team dressed in purple. Team Arsenal had just 2 points in all of the opening half. They've got 2 goals from Kylie Ohlmiller in the last couple minutes. They've made this game a much more interesting 5-4. Allie Kennedy gets into the lane, bounce shot on the way. Warden kneels to deny. That was Kaylee Waters making that stop, and she has shown her handiwork again from time to time. Wakefield racing back through the midfield. Caroline Wakefield, who was so great for us last weekend wearing the microphone, bringing us into the game. She wears 23. She said, you know what? How about like another 23 at North Carolina? Just call me MJ, Michael Jordan. 6-on-6 now. Ohlmiller's last strike was a player up. Arsenault off the split dodge. Well defended there by O'Donnell. Shot clock's at 20. Shayna Pareca sizzled that one wide. This is the first time ever, Courtney, that Shayna has not been playing on the same team with Sydney. They've been broken up in this week 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Courtney, Kylie Ohlmiller starting to take over now in the second half.
Kylie Ohlmiller, we love to see her versatility on the field. She's such a flashy player, but she shows that she has the ability, the speed, to take shots from downtown, along the outside of that elbow, but her signature moves are around the crease. We saw a little ISO situation, and then a little give and go. I'm giving you the ball, and I'm asking for it right back. We see her highlighted right here. Look at her vision hitting her teammate. And then Marie McCool says, I'll hit you right back. And that's exactly where Kylie Ohlmiller cuts to, into a position to catch, turn, and finish all in one.
Ohlmiller shooting 75%. The rest of the squad, not so much. Kylie taking number 7 overall in the Week 2 draft. She's always told us that she's been fueled by doubters. If you don't think she can do something, she will make it her mission to prove you wrong. Isolating against Bonani. The quick pass to the inside does not hit pay dirt. That was a rough run. Coming up, hobbling away from the goal circle is McCone as Hill tiptoes on the end line. Carr was trail checked. Ball still down at the 8-meter key, and then we hear a whistle.
We see Team Warden defensive players, especially Kristen Carr right there, number 83, looking for that first foul to be called. It is a more physical game. Seems right there that the defense was fouled initially, clearing that ball out.
Is McCool thinking 2 here again from free position?
Absolutely, look at that windup.
Lets it go, stopped by Hill. Marie McCool scored a 2-point goal on a free position shot last weekend. Tried to duplicate it there. Hill said, no, you don't, and keeps Warden on top, 5-4. Loose ball, Apuzzo digging in. Waters gets way out of her goal circle to help. And out of the scrum comes Wakefield. Caroline Wakefield will jog it ahead. She said she had goosebumps when she heard her name taken in the Athletes Unlimited draft. Ohlmiller is going to take this one for a ride.
You're good. There's a pick coming.
And hear that defense talking about possible picks. It's all about communication, being prepared for what might happen.
Mary-Kate Bonani lost her footing there. Ohlmiller lost the ball. Kylie comes back up with it and a fresh 60-second shot clock. 2:40 remaining in the frame. This is the third quarter. It was a 5-2 advantage for Team Warden at the halftime break. 2 goals from Ohlmiller have changed things. Arsenault on the shovel. That was blocked down. More possession time for the team dressed in blue. These are unique teams. They're likely not going to occur again the first time they're playing together. Their familiarity challenged. Earlier today we saw Kayla Wood's team down Kayla Trainor's. McCool finds Ohlmiller, and the hot hand continues.
I love the fact of these two working together on the field. They have coupled now for 2 back-to-back goals. When these two link up, good things happen on the field. This time Marie feeding Kylie from behind the goal cage, changing up where the two of them are at. All things are tied up at 5.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Lovely evening in the nation's capital, about 30 miles south of here at Maureen Hendricks Field of the Maryland Soccerplex. We are 5-5, getting late in the third quarter. Team Warden has seen Team Arsenault rally behind this player, Kylie Ohlmiller, who has the last 3 in succession, all in the third.
Kylie Ohlmiller, team captain last week, goal scorer extraordinaire this week. We see her highlighted right there. It's her ability to know where to be when her teammate has the ball, putting herself in the best possible situation to score. She has really linked up with Marie McCool, 2 players who are playing very well together. Again, they were not on the same team last week, but it's about who you're with this week.
Carr comes up with the ground ball around the draw circle, and possession for Team Warden in the purple in this 5-5 scrum. Carr, who scored a goal last weekend, rare for a defender so far in this young season of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse to do so. Allie Kennedy, she can provide some offensive pop. Kennedy with the goals in all 4 games of her Athletes Unlimited career. Handing it off to the captain, Warden, who fakes the flip. Cycle it up through the weave. Kennedy's open. Fire. Score! Allie Kennedy.
Team Warden getting back on the board. They've been quiet since the second quarter. Early on, Sama Puzo engaging with the rest of her teammates. We see a lot more movement off of this goal. Sama Puzo coming around off of that flip. On the flip side, cutting off of a pick from that top, Allie Kennedy wearing number 42. What I like is her quick release. She is known for her quick releases as well as her dodging capabilities. She is so fast to that goal cage. Right here, a little flip to Sam Apuzzo, who's coming hard off of a cut from the far side of the field. Again, being able to catch the ball while moving, as well as sighting that cage. Very difficult and hard to see for a keeper, especially when it's coming off of a quick release.
Courtney, you mentioned that last goal from Apuzzo for Team Warden. That was about 15 minutes ago. That was way back in that second quarter. Kennedy changing the tune, giving Team Warden the lead back, 6-5, and they get possession on the run. Kennedy breezing in, runs right through the check of Brown. Brown, who led all of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse last weekend in ground balls. For every ground ball you pick up, you get 2. For every goal you score, you get 12. Kennedy just potted her second on the night. You win the quarter as a team, everybody on that roster gets 20. You win the game, you get 45. The stat points do add up, but it's the winning points as a team that seem to matter most on the overall leaderboard. Tumalo's pass is inside, it's deflected down. Still digging for it. Warden's feet just a little too tall for Majorana. This is a turnover back to Team Arsenal. And late in the third quarter, a chance to tie or take the lead with a 2. McCool, long strides, floats into the offensive end, 6-on-6. Playing catch with Oldmiller, who's turned up the Jets now in the third. Bluffs it, gets to the inside off the sweep. This bounce shot, score! McCone!
Joe, I credit this goal. Lindsay McCone, again, changing where she's shooting that ball. I love the bouncers. They fly off of this turf. But Kylie Oldmiller, she's the one who created. All eyes were on her. They thought she was going to do a little rocker step. However, she gave that ball up. When you have sliding defenders, you've got to be able to shoot around. And that's exactly what Lindsay McCone did right here, shooting around to that defender coming right at her, getting her arms up and away from her body, and able to get a nice flick around that defender.
Folks who know the game very well say that Lindsay is a worker bee as we listen in on Patty Kletcher-Porter. Off this draw, at the restraining line, the scoop made by Sammy Jo Tracy as the third quarter comes to its end. 6-6 after 3. Another tight game down the stretch, taking over this town. Scoreboard cut up into thirds for you, quarter by quarter. And you can tell in gold, the team which won each quarter has banked 20 points for all the players on the roster. So when we think about those quarter points per team, Team Warden has taken 40 of those tonight. Whichever team wins this contest, which is currently a 6-6 draw, will ultimately win 45 points for each player. Earlier today, Kayla Wood's team down to Kayla Trainor's 12-11, and everybody banked 45 for that. As we say thank you to our presenting field partners tonight. Thank you to Geico for all their efforts, energy, and support of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Week 2. This is game 8 of 30. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor soon to take you down the stretch in this contest. And Courtney, just these two teams on the field tonight, this is the way their leaderboard stacks up between just these two rivals this evening.
So very even. We see obviously blue sandwiching the purple team, Team Arsenal and Team Warden. Every team this weekend is battling it out. We've seen very even teams. Obviously, all four of the captains stem from Kylie Oldmiller's Team Gold from last week. It's not surprising to see so many of them at the top of their respective teams because they earned a lot of points last week winning each of their games.
Courtney, we're enjoying Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on a Friday night. Tomorrow it'll be Women in Sport Day. We'll be talking about and celebrating women's roles in these great elite level professional sports. And we have players who are on the field tonight, especially for Team Warden, who are juggling athleticism and being a mom.
Mom duties. It's amazing what they're able to do outside of the lacrosse field, taking care of little ones, still training, working, but most importantly, showing their young ones that moms can do it. You don't have to hang up your stick or stop being an athlete once you have children. Amber Hill, she's a mom, has done a great job in cage this evening. And then you have two defensive players, Amber McKenzie and Holly Riley, in front of Amber, who have done a great job themselves.
This Team Arsenal breaks the huddle with a shout of together. Kaylee Waters makes her way back to the cage.
Let's go! Let's go! Keep it up! Here you go!
Kaylee,
let's go!
if you can hear me, Kaylee, you just hugged the difference maker in that third quarter, Kylie Ohlmiller. What happened? What turned the game back in your favor?
Hey, it was a new half. Joe and Cross, he said it's a game of runs, and we were fighting for every single ground ball, and we had each other's back on that. We saw that we didn't let plays end, kept them alive.
Kaylee, how do we keep this game of runs in Team Arsenal favor?
We're gonna win the draw and keep going after our opportunities on offense. Our defense has done an awesome job of anticipating and going hard.
All righty, keep your head up, 43. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Fourth quarter set to unfold. Officials, the head official is Patty Kletcher-Porter. Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie is our table official. Each team has one timeout in the fourth. Should we be tied at the end of regulation, there would be a 3-minute sudden victory overtime. If the game is still tied, if there's no, quote, golden goal, then we would get on to a first ever Athletes Unlimited shootout. Long way to go between now and then. Hallie Majorana off the split dodge against Wakefield. She turns the corner, didn't get topside though. That pass on the button here. Waters makes a good save on Kennedy. A sharp start for Kaylee Waters in quarter number 4. Every save for the goalie earns her 6 points. Pelton crossing over into the offensive third. We're 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Pelton offers it to the very capable cross of Marie McCool. Save totals. Haley Warden's squad on top in that regard. Amber Hill has gone the distance. She's backed up by Angie Benson, who was a captain in week 1. Arsenal working in against her opposite captain, Haley Warden.
Joe, we see Cookie Carr, number 83 in purple, denying the ball to Marie McCool. Marie McCool and Kylie Ohlmiller have been so difficult to defend when the two of them are together.
Ohlmiller just missed it there. She's been giving Holly Riley a tough time as we hear the shot clock violation. Courtney, you made a great point to me between quarters about Kylie Ohlmiller. Ohlmiller, who has scored, 3 of the last 4 goals for Team Arsenal. She set records in terms of assists in her collegiate days. You would think of her more as a set-up feeder type.
You know, I think that can be used to her advantage quite often. When other teams think you're going to be assisting, they may step back a little bit, maybe not look at you as much of a goal scorer. However, not to be fooled by Kylie. She does a great job with the ball in her stick, looking to feed, or off ball, looking to cut to cage. And she's shown that tonight, especially in that third quarter with 3 goals and 1 assist.
Don't get me wrong, she had her goals too at Stony Brook. She had almost 500 points in her career. On the end line, this ball goes to Team Arsenal. Waters looking ahead, spots McCool, and she'll just glide back away from Apuzzo. Marie McCool, who was number 1 in individual stat points last week. Taylor Cummings was number 2. We saw Cummings earlier today in a really good game. Kayla Wood's squad getting the better of Kayla Trainor's 12-11 thanks to a 5-goal performance from Alex Ost. Less than 5 minutes to go in regulation in this one. This game is flying by. Pareca lets it go and missed the target there. Closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field on a shot gets possession. The officials are going to keep it for Arsenal. As we hear a timeout called, we'll take it. Get you back for more Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports. Really good lacrosse came this evening. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse working down the stretch in the fourth quarter of a game deadlocked at 6. We're going to take you into the game. A few moments ago, Captain Dempsey Arsenal yielding the floor to Kylie Ohlmiller.
Hey, you guys, offensively too, 8-minute quarters, right? If we win the draw, let's use the entire shot clock and then get it down. If we get like 8 in a row, right, like that's just 8 quick minutes, like let's use all 60 seconds. Just to use clock, especially since it's tight, right? No reason to rush.
Kylie Ohlmiller, she's done a stellar job this evening. We see her showing her versatility, shooting from far out, doing her signature around the crease work with a quick little roll under. Kylie, known for her feeding capabilities. She had the first assist as well as the last, but it's her 4 goals that have really carried Team Arsenal in blue, tying up this game at 6.
Playing for the Headstrong Foundation. That's her athlete cause. Ohlmiller again giving fits to Riley. Riley peeks out at her as she gets top side. Ohlmiller throwing all the fakes and fires to score. It's a game of one-on-one and Ohlmiller can't be stopped.
Listen, when your teammate is on an island, you have got to send the help defensively. In a 6-on-6 situation, the slides are from a farther area.
Amber Hill, the goalie, has to call for the help there.
That's Amber's call. That's Holly Riley's call, the defensive player. But we saw everyone in purple staring, looking, should we go? Should we go? And you need to. When you are up against an attacker with hot hands, just like Kylie Ohlmiller, we saw that little hesitation, the little rocker. You need to send a double to her.
That wasn't bad defense from Riley. Just a whisker of separation is all Ohlmiller needs right now.
Absolutely. I'm giving every single time in a one-on-one situation, no matter how good that defense is, it's going to the attacker. These attackers are too good in any of these one-on-one situations. Like you said, that slight little opening of space, that means everything, especially to an attacker like Kylie.
5 of the last 6 goals for Team Arsenal have come out of the cross of Kylie Ohlmiller. She has taken over. Ohlmiller, who was a perfect 3-0 as a captain last weekend, trading in her gold jersey for this baby blue model and wearing it well. This is a 7-6 performance for Team Arsenal. As we get you set for our Geico Defensive Play of the Game, compliments of Kaylee Waters.
Kaylee Waters, such a great goalkeeper. It's no surprise that she gets a majority of minutes for Team Arsenal. She is the top keeper for Team USA, who's in their trainings right now. She has the quickest hands, and she is a communicator on that defensive end.
At the end of the season, Courtney will be awarding the Geico Defensive Player of the Year. This Athletes Unlimited award comes with an added $5,000 bonus for the winner. Kaylee Waters backed up on Team Arsenal by Britt Brown. She serves as a second chair goalie. Angie Benson is the understudy so far to Amber Hill in cage for Team Warden. If you're just tuning in with us, Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. This has been a good game tonight. Waters, with her 4 stops, presently has her team in the lead thanks to a firestorm of activity from Kylie Ohlmiller. Ohlmiller answering Alex Ost. Ost had 5 earlier today. Ohlmiller has 5 and counting right now. And brimming with confidence. You can tell she wants the ball every trip.
Ready.
at the draw circle. That ball gets scraped away by McComb, but it didn't go over the shoulder, right? You told me the draw has to go above the height. Is it the head or the shoulder?
It's above the head, and that was a great call by the referee, making sure to do a redraw.
First movement, it's got to be up.
And we hear her telling them.
Yep, hold it right here. This is
Has
good.
to go up.
Sam, be ready.
This one is definitely overhead and right to McCone. Lindsay bringing that one down for herself, adding 2 points to her totals for every draw control. Remember, there are quarter points on the line. There are win points on the line. For the moment in the fourth quarter, the scoring is 1-0 for Arsenal. Kylie Ohlmiller, fabulous, 5 for 7. Halfway through the fourth. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There's an 8-meter key. Score from outside of it, they'll give you 2. Arsenal hovering at that line now. Here comes the double from Carr along with O'Donnell. That pass is skipped to Ohlmiller. She did a nice job of capturing it. Ohlmiller, good look to McMahon. McMahon, who played collegiately at USC. Sweeping across the top. No running room afforded her by O'Donnell. 14 seconds to shoot. That pass is low. It's a turnover back to Team Warden.
The difference maker right then defensively was recovery. They were able to do quick double teams, making Team Arsenal move that ball quickly. They weren't as prepared setting up. And those recoveries are what gave them those opportunities every time that ball was moved.
Amber Hill finds Amber McKenzie. Those veterans on the back end for this Team Warden, getting the offensive touch halfway through the 60-second shot clock, and they'll leave it in the cross of Haley Warden. Former CAA Player of the Year, 2 times a captain at James Madison. She won the national championship in 2018. She's now piloting her own team. She was one of the top 4 on the leaderboard last weekend. As the top 4 this weekend will be new captains on Monday. Levy, who has a 2 tonight. Tumalo, who's been relatively quiet inside. That rings the post. Follow-up score! Apuzzo on the second chance.
If you don't succeed the first time, try again. Sam Apuzzo, such quick reactions. Tying up the game at 7. Sam Apuzzo, she's a great target on the inside, and she is quite the finisher. We see Michelle Tumalo, she was able to find her the first time. Sam Apuzzo picking up the junk inside, getting that ground ball rebound off of her own shot, and then placing it.
Great look from the goal cam there. The first shot, pitch back, Karam's right to her. Opportunistic, Apuzzo buries the follow-up. She had a couple of 2-goal games last weekend. She has 2 tonight in her first game with this new team. Team Warden, Team Arsenal, 7-7. O'Donnell with a draw control. Finds Apuzzo in the open field. 2:25 left in the fourth. Courtney, do you slow the pace now? Do you try to play the possession game with the shot clock?
Well, we know that's certainly what Team Arsenal is looking for.
Kennedy sends it high. Backed up on the end line by Majorana. Hallie gets downhill quickly, fires, and Waters knew that was going low. She read it beautifully. Give Waters 6 more points for that stop. End to end it comes, 7-7, less than 2 minutes to go. McCool pulls up on the outside, puts it into the cross of Kylie Ohlmiller. In the quarter, it's 1-1. Warden won the first, Warden won the second. Arsenal won the third quarter thanks to the explosion from Ohlmiller. Off the split dodge on the sweep, the feed inside. Arsenal cans it.
Marie McCool has done a great job of having her eyes up when she's dodging. Every single one of those defensive players were looking for ISO. We heard them say ISO, ISO. So they're looking to slide to that. So no eyes are on the inside for any cutters Dempsey Arsenal was able to capitalize on that. All defense looking at Marie McCool, who's so dominant as a Dodger, but she has the ability to feed. We see right here as the ball is moving around into her stick, every single one of those defenders are taking a look at the girl who's about ready to dodge. Ultimately, she finds that teammate wide open on the doorstep in Dempsey Arsenal, the captain for the blue team.
Dempsey tells us that she has a huge sweet tooth. Well, a double scooping of Heath Bar ice cream is coming her way if that stands up as the winner. Still plenty of time in regulation, 1:26 to go. Warden tried to win that draw to herself. It's down and it belongs to Arsenault. She dropped it. Meg Dowdy claims it. And the team in blue has a much needed possession. So there are 50 seconds on the shot clock, 1:10 in the game. And Arsenault's squad should be in absolutely no hurry now. It becomes paramount for Warden to press out and try and force that turnover pretty soon. McCone yields it to the captain. Arsenault sprints away from traffic. Carr was hedging out on her. McCool fires. Stop there. That one pings off the post. It's another possession, though. And a fresh shot clock. The shot clock's turned off. To the goal, sent high. There was no need for McMahon to shoot that. 32 seconds left, shot clock off. The team in blue can run for cover here. There was a timeout taken. There was a timeout taken.
If you're the captain or the facilitator, so very smart of you to call that timeout. Your team does not need to score in that instance. They need to make sure to maintain possession.
Shanta Lecker is the facilitator for Team Arsenault. Whenever we mention them, we always say, think advisor, think helper, think almost assistant coach, if you will. There are no coaches in Athletes Unlimited. The players call all the shots. So with Arsenault on top 8-7, and this their first game united in week 2, we look at the overall Geico leaderboard. Kayla Wood setting the pace. Kayla nowadays the captain of her own Golden Squad.
If Team Arsenault holds true and is able to squeak out this 8-7 win, I have no doubt that Dempsey Arsenault, who's sitting at number 3, is going to jump immensely.
Remember, you get points for winning the quarter, 20 each for everybody on your roster, 45 should you win the game, and then we get the MVP balloting, the MVP votes, which can be 45, 30, or 15 for your total. And they add up quickly, and things will be changing as the next few weekends go along. This is game 8 of 30, 5 weekends of play in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Warden breaks the huddle, trailing by 1. The shot clock is off. The possession is Team Arsenault's in blue. Courtney, if you're defending, how best to create the turnover that you need if you're Team Warden?
Immediately, you're looking to double the ball. They're going to set up in a double at the spot of the ball. Everybody else pressing out on their players, making sure they're able to knock any passes down. But the ball's in Marie McCool's stick. She's going to run.
Great way to finish this game up. Tomorrow, you can get your tickets, AUProsports.com. Be here with us at Maureen Hendricks Field. Final 27 seconds. McCool is on the track. Floats it over to Oldmiller, who's been the goal-scoring hero. Down to 20 left. It's a 1-point game. Arsenault continues the game of keep away. They try to spread the field. 13 seconds left. Kylie Oldmiller turned things around. It started in the third quarter. And Team Arsenault is going to come away with a victory thanks to that 5-goal explosion. The winning tally from Arsenault in the fourth. It's an 8-7 triumph. Arsenault not only wins the game, taking 45 points for everybody on her lineup, but they do win the fourth quarter as well. That's another 20 points, a bonus as the leaderboard will continue to change. An outstanding second half for Team Arsenal. They rally, outscoring Team Warden 6-2 in the last 16 minutes to claim victory.
We talk so much about a game of runs, and while it was all Warden in the first half, it was all Team Arsenal in the second. They tightened up their defense, worked together offensively, obviously get the ball into the hot hands of Kylie Ohlmiller, either as a goal scorer or as the assister. She did her part with the ball in her stick, making sure to capitalize on each and every opportunity.
Courtney, we had some lopsided games in the first weekend of Athletes Unlimited, those 6 games. We had 2 today that were both one-point decisions. And you see as the new captains start to cherry pick who they like with a new draft on every Monday. Obviously the competition very, very close. Kylie Ohlmiller, deservedly the first person we chat to post-game as Kylie is on the field. Kylie, 5 goals. What happened? Why was the explosion so prominent for you?
I think we came off to a little bit of a slow start. This is a new group. I think we're definitely getting accustomed to that, just in the league in general. But we had a lot of fire. We had a lot of teamwork going all week long, and I think that we were just getting too excited. So just to settle it down, play the way that we did best, and especially on offense, and take advantage of each of our second chance opportunities.
Kylie, talk about your offensive prowess on the field. What was the difference maker today?
I think we were just taking advantage of matchups and, going with what was working. And I think that's the cool part about this league. There's so many talented players that, one day, it might have been my day today, but tomorrow it's going to be Dempsey's. The next day it's going to be Marie's. That's how it's going to go, and that's the best way to play lacrosse. So it was fun out there.
Kylie, we're watching your work in the second half especially, and you were trying to, it looked like, pick on Holly Riley. Holly's defense was really, really good. What was the difference in your ability to separate from her just enough?
My teammates did a great job at kind of clearing through and recognizing that opportunity. And to your point, Holly was playing great, and I had to pull out some moves that I don't think I've ever used before. So credit to her and credit to my teammates for giving me that open space to dodge.
Kylie, nice work. Really nice job. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks so much.
Kylie Ohlmiller helping to pave the way for Team Arsenal. Arsenal ultimately wins the game as the captain gets fitted for her headgear. We can look back on what was the difference maker in this fourth quarter.
Dempsey Arsenal, I think, just did a great job. Number 1, being a captain, but 2, always putting herself in a position to put her team at that next step. Scoring that goal right there is what gave them the go-ahead. A true captain, facilitating all over the field.
Dempsey, so nice to see you celebrating there with your new mates. What's the best about getting that victory? What does it mean to you so far to start the weekend in good style?
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That's what I call a team win. From defense to offense to the draw, we all had each other's backs, and it was just an awesome time. I don't know how we did it. We all just leaned on each other, but I'm so happy.
Dempsey is the captain. Did you rely on Kylie Ohlmiller picking her brain leading into the games this weekend?
Definitely. I was like, what drills did we do last week? We got to keep this momentum going. But yeah, she's an awesome leader. I really leaned on everyone on my team, but it was a great team win.
Courtney is always telling me, Dempsey, that lacrosse is a game of runs. What was the trigger point? What set this momentum in motion for you in the second half?
That third quarter, I think we had 6 goals, maybe. I don't know. It just seemed to start clicking. Kylie went off. Our defense started to click. It was just that big momentum swing that really helped us win.
What did you change offensively? You talked about Kylie, but how did you get the ball into her stick more often?
I think we were just more aggressive. We started to cut through, kind of work together. In the beginning, we kind of were like a little bit stagnant, but we started to work together, move the ball, and it started to click.
Dempsey Arsenal, fun to watch you work. Thanks very much for the insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dempsey Arsenal squad winning another 1-point game. Earlier today, it was Team Wood downing Team Trainer. We saw great scoring in that game. We saw great goaltending in this one, especially from Kaylee Waters.
Kaylee Waters did an excellent job in goal, holding her position, really telegraphing, almost forcing that attacker to shoot it exactly where she wanted it. Sometimes goalkeepers have a great job of saying, this is the only thing that's open, when they're actually telling the attacker where to shoot.
As Kaylee Waters joins us, Kaylee, How much fun was it watching from the other end while your team kept piling up the goals?
I was fired up, Joe. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, especially the goals. They came from a fight, right? They weren't easy goals. All the attackers had each other's back. They were scrappy, and yeah, that really fired me up.
Kaylee, I talk about baiting the offensive players. Is that a part of your defensive strategy?
I think it is. I mean, I just go out there and I try not to think too much, but I got to credit the defense. I mean, we switched up our defense and they were on their hands and they were giving me the shots that, as a goalie, you want to see.
I know you just said you try not to think too much, Kaylee, but what is your mindset in the fourth quarter when it's a 1-point game?
Oh, I love it. I mean, it's a lacrosse game. It's what you play for, these intense games. And to win and with these people and to really fight for it, right? We're all competitive. So my mindset was just on the team of believing in them and cheering them on and knowing, hey, we're going to go down with a fight or we're going to win with a fight.
And when you did. Kaylee, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Kaylee Waters and Team Arsenal on top of Team Warden this evening. The Arsenal squad really started to turn up the shot volume in the second half.
Looking at the difference in shots, that was a huge factor, as well as making sure that they capitalize on each and every draw that they won. So less turnovers, winning the draw, and capitalizing that into goals is what I'd say did it for them in the second half.
We just heard from Kaylee Waters live. Let's go into the game and get under the helmet with her.
Hey, this is our night to show off. Let's go, baby! Blue on 3. 1, 2, 3. Blue. Here we go. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's go. Okay, everyone's hands are in. All right, we're gonna say together. All right, from here on out, we're all playing for each other. Yeah. All right, going hard. All right, together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Together. Let's go, Blue.
Ball right. Ball left. Ball right! Hold Wakefield. Yes! Chris, I'm here.
Kaylee talking about the togetherness that's required to win. Kylie Ohlmiller was definitely a vital cog in the victory with her 5 goals, turning things around dramatically in the second half of this Athletes Unlimited lacrosse game. So, we begin week 2, games 7 and 8, and Courtney, they become hotly contested. Both of the games today, 1-point games, 1-point thrillers. And when you have teams that are learning each other's tendencies so quickly, how do you expect them to bounce back tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I credit the captains with being able to select teams that can propel them into a lot tighter games. Last week, we saw a little bit more lopsided. However, 2 back-to-back 1-goal games show that Team Ohlmiller, who was so dominant in those early games, a lot of those players were divided up, 3 or 4 players per team, and the captains did a great job of meshing everyone together. So, first of all, credit to them.
We've told you, we've been talking about stat points, we've been talking about team wins per quarter and per game and how they all add up into the leaderboard. This is where the leaderboard sits at the moment without the MVP voting from this most recent win for Team Arsenal. But look at how Dempsey's climbing by virtue of winning quarters and winning games.
I have to assume that Dempsey Arsenault is going to continue to climb. She did a great job on the field. Kylie Ohlmiller, I mean, clearly should be getting MVP points. She would be one of my votes. And then you have Kaylee Waters, Marie McCool, who did all that dirty work on the field. Goalkeepers don't often get a lot of credit for all the saves that they make, but she is an important part of that defensive unit. She's that quarterback. And then Marie McCool, she's scoring goals, she's causing turnovers, she's doing a great job running both ends of the field. So I expect all of them to continue to bump up.
They'll have to get rested in a hurry. We're back on Fox Sports tomorrow at noon, the first of a double dip for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Victorious netminder Kaylee Waters marching on as her squad proves victorious by the final of 8-7 in favor of Captain Dempsey Arsenault. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati thanking you very much for your time. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports. In the second half, 71 said, "Follow me." Right to the cage, right to victory lane in Athletes Unlimited.